All right, so now let's talk about round table closing, aka kitchen table closing. Typically, what that means is this. You're going to do a closing without the help of a title company or a lawyer. Is that possible? You're damn right it is. All right. It's typically called a round table closing. My name is Jonahwilson. Before we go further, you can email me for a copy of what's going to be discussed here, or you can join us on Facebook at Capital Commercial Investors. You can also find me at blackcapitalconsultants.com, and my email address and contact information and link to all these things I'm talking about will be at the bottom in the comments section of this video. So I'm going to make this sweet and short because it's typically what it is. But just so you'll know, if you're taking over a property, you need to understand how deeds work. All right, the deed is very important. You can find a lot of things that say get the deed, find the deed, control the deed, etc., etc. Now, typically what can be used when you're doing these deals subject to the mortgage, you can get a quitclaim deed. If you want a special warranty deed or a warranty deed, that's fine. There are ways around that. I do believe in some states they will require a signature from the grantor and the grantee. Some don't. Typically, if you get the deed notarized and signed from the seller to transfer it over, there's usually not a need for the grantee, which would be you, signature. So just to go over a few notes I have here, I'm going to scroll down. This is strictly from the packet that's available. Typically, one of the questions I have in here is, would someone need a title search when doing a quitclaim deed or kitchen table or round table closing? If you plan on holding this property, cash flowing it out, yes, I recommend that you get a title search. They're typically $125. The name of it is preliminary title search. You can find that at your local title companies, or if you're savvy enough to get on Google on a computer, you can usually find that title information at the county deeds office, and it's usually free. So make sure you look up your county deed office. If you can find their website, you can do a title search for free. Or if you don't have time, just have a title company do it for you. So that's something that needs to be taught, something that needs to be spoken about. You can do a title search through the deeds records office, and this is typically what the title company is going to do before they insure the title. Now, while we're talking about titles, what is the major purpose of a title? I'm going to break it down to you in simple ways. If this pen was the last thing I had and you wanted to borrow it, I'm going to require insurance on my pen. So if anything happens, I get my pen back or I'm covered some type of way. When we get the insurance put together, our office is going to run a search on this pen to see how much ink has been used, who's all been writing with it, and does it belong to anybody else? Does anybody have any rights to it? Once they can verify this pen has a clear title or it's good to use, they'll insure it. All right, just like any other insurance company. That's typically what happens in the title company. Now, if it's a mortgage or a lender, hard money lender, they're going to require the title company to insure it. All right, and that's why a lot of you people have to wait on closing. Now, if you're a professional, which is something we'll talk about on the next video, you'll learn how to use a specific or limited power of attorney for that particular deal, where you step in place as the seller. All right, it's guaranteeing that the deal will close with or without the seller. If he's out of town or in the hospital, or for whatever reason he can't make it to closing, the deal will go through. You get that signed and notarized. You get real comps from a realtor and 3 estimates from a contractor. When you have these good deals, there's no reason you should have to wait on closing. If you supply all that information with the contract, that's guaranteeing your assignee that there's a closing and it's going to go through as planned. There's no reason for you to wait on closing. If you do wait on closing, make sure you ask for a little bit more than your assignment fee for the wait. All right? Because at this point, you in for the deal. You've already done your part. So without the title company, typically in these subject to deals, you can do a kitchen table closing. All right, you have the notary notarize the paperwork and mail it back to you, and you record it. Now I dropped my pen. Sorry about that. Well, I thought about recording. Now recording is this. It's filing. Just go down to the county and file a paperwork. Now there is usually a recording fee. In Pennsylvania, I checked last night, it's $95. So it's not going to be a $10 transaction. Once again, it's the buyer's responsibility to record the deed, the seller's responsibility to make sure they sign and fill in all the blanks. Now typically if you look on your county's deed office website, they have deeds you can use that are used to fill in the blanks. So you don't have to go printing out anything or you looking for templates. Just look up your county deeds record office or call them and ask them for a deed, and they'll usually give you one. It might be $10 or $20 because there's a fee involved for everything. The deed is a legal document that identifies the transaction or transfer of ownership. Special warranty deed. It's similar to the general warranty deed. I'm reading this off this page. But it's promising to protect the title against defects, which is pretty much what we was talking about. So dealing with a title company, you should be getting a special warranty deed. All right. The quitclaim deed is what I really wanted to talk about. That's what you're going to be typically using a lot of times. There's a lot to learn about quitclaim deeds, like when to use them. Typically when you're transferring your property or you want to gift your property to a family member. You know, when you're taking over these mortgages, typically that can be listed as a gift in my opinion. I could be wrong. When you're transferring the property to a trust. Now if you don't know about trust, we'll cover that in the video as well. All I need to do is like and share or whatever they do with these YouTube videos so I'll get a notification letting me know that we're getting some feedback back. If you're dealing with these sub-2 deals, which is pretty hot right now, you need to understand how land trusts work, irrevocable trusts, and the difference between a land trust, which is Illinois land trust, and a regular trust. All right. You can also use the quitclaim deed to update the names on the property. All right. Wait. You need to update the names on the property title. That's what you use the quitclaim deed for. You can also resolve a cloud on the property title. Now, quitclaim deed does not offer any warranties. Okay, so that's very important to know about that. Now, of course, this is available. All I need is your email address and I'll send it to you. If you're already in the JV program, you already paid for it. So just send me your email address. For those that are not in the Facebook group or in the JV program, it's only $4.99. The price of donuts and coffee in the morning can save you thousands, if not hundreds of dollars on your next transaction. And it's good information to know to keep. All right. Also, when you pay, you'll have opportunity to set up an appointment. And we'll go over this with you one-on-one for about 15 minutes for free. All right. Other than that, I have an example of a quitclaim deed and the information that's needed on this packet. Pretty much everything you need is here. I'll be there to answer questions if need be. So that's what this is about. The basis of a round table closing, which is what the name of it is, or also known as kitchen table closing. So join us on Facebook. You can get this information and more. We're available to you. There's 3 or 4 of us in here that are teaching this, and we'll be